When it comes to drawing the figure, a lot of beginners fall into the trap of starting with the outline. They try to draw all of these complex shapes and contours that they see in their reference or just in the human body, but more often than not, that turns out to be a huge mistake. If we really want to achieve that dynamic 3D look and feel, then we need to think more like sculptors and less like photocopiers. What I mean by that is we need to build out each part of the figure piece by piece, instead of just diving in head first and trying to get all of the details. Alright, so let's do a fairly quick overview on how to construct the human body. If we look at this example here, we can see exactly where everything lands. We'll start by establishing the height, the top and the bottom, then we'll cut the body in half, right there by the waist. And if we cut that in half, we get the landmark where the knees fall. I would say somewhere between 1 to 2/3 down from the top is where the shoulders are going to land. I also like to leave a mark right there about where the elbows land, because that usually tends to line up with the bottom of the torso or around the belly button, somewhere around there. And lastly, we'll just mark where the chin falls so that we get the height of the head. And with that, now we can start to assemble a human figure. So we're going to simplify each part of the body into just 3 shapes. The head, torso, waist, and feet, those will all become cubes. The arms and legs, we'll use cylinders to represent those. And for the joints, we'll just use simple circles or spheres to connect each part of the body. The proportions we just mapped out in the previous example, they will now serve as a reference point or a guide for where each part of the body should be drawn. If we follow these guides and proportions, we should end up with a cool new action figure that we can use for posing, plotting, and planning our scenes. Now, when we rotate into another angle, we can see how the entire figure can be simplified into a single cube. And that should make you excited, because this just made our lives a whole lot easier. Simplifying the entire human figure into a single box allows us to determine the scale, direction, and proportions of our character before even a single detail is drawn. When you're learning, it's extremely important to understand these forms in terms of shape first, so that you can have a roadmap to get from one thing to the next. So now that we have a basic idea of how to produce a 3D figure in perspective, let's make things dynamic. We're going to talk about foreshortening. Now this is a subject that scares people. It can be intimidating to try and make something look like it's really coming off of the page or flying into 3D space, but it's not as difficult as you might think. At the end of the day, foreshortening is really just about overlapping shapes and forms. For instance, if we take the example of a character's arm that's reaching out towards us, we can see how each part of the arm, when broken down, just becomes a progressively overlapping shape. A cube in front of a sphere, in front of a cylinder, in front of another sphere, and so on and so forth. Now all we have to do is know how to rotate things in perspective, and at this point, I'm pretty sure you already know how to do that. However, if you're not actually familiar with perspective, I would recommend pausing this video and watching my other tutorial on how perspective works. Link in the description. Now, the other thing that tends to trip people up when it comes to foreshortening is sizing and scaling, meaning how large or small an object should be depending on where it's located within the scene. As we already know, objects placed at different distances will vary greatly in size. If we follow the perspective lines from the vanishing point, we can see roughly how large or small something should be depending on where it is. But remember, everything doesn't have to be mathematically perfect to sell the illusion of depth. Great art is usually more about perception than reality. Alright, so step 3. This is the fun part. So now that we have this fully formed 3-dimensional figure, we can go ahead and start actually drawing in whatever it is we're trying to draw. If you're drawing digitally, you're going to lower the opacity and create a new layer, or if you're drawing on paper, you're going to lightly erase until the structure here is just barely visible. Either way, you're going to use this mannequin as a guide to draft your illustration over. Now, a word of caution here. A lot of the times when drawing, our eyes and brains start to play tricks on us. We get really into it and think everything is just going perfect, but when you take a break and come back after a little bit of time, you can see all of the mistakes that you somehow couldn't see before. And let me tell you, it is way easier to correct mistakes now than later down the line after you've already inked and colored or whatever it is you're going to do to this. So do yourself a favor, take a break right now and make sure that everything is square when you come back. Okay, so now it's your turn to try this out. So draw a character in perspective using only boxes and cylinders, and then maybe tag me so I can see it. And if this helped you draw with a little bit more confidence, then hit that like button, feel free to subscribe, and check out my Drawing Fundamentals playlist. Thanks for watching, everybody. Keep creating.